Hey, hey. All right. What's up, Angel, Candy, Sweet Misery? So I will not be on long today because I have to get these pictures done and my picture skills suck. You would think that someone as crafty as I am would know how to take a fucking good picture, but I can't. And it's driving me insane. I've been trying for like 2 days. Hey, Whistle Down. Oh, I'm good. I'm just trying to get all these pictures done, and there's always a little flaw, or it's too bright, or it's too dark, and I suck at photography. But we're learning. And then the engraving looks messed up when it's close up. And I don't know if it's something I'm doing. So I'm just losing my motherfucking mind. I'm leaving YouTube, by the way. I'm not leaving, but I'm going to be using other platforms because YouTube is fucking hitting my channel hard. They're going through videos from like 2016. Like I just got a demonetization on the very first video I did from fucking 2016. Like literally my first video on YouTube. I'm down like 600 subs, and I know there wasn't a mass exodus like 6 months later, but yeah, YouTube is obviously hitting my fucking channel and hard. So I'm going to be on other platforms as well because every day I turn around and YouTube hit me for another like 300 subs, and I don't know, but they're obviously going through my channel. They've hit me from videos. They demonetized a video from 2016. Then they demonetized another video from 2000, like making a murderer stuff. I'm like, holy fuck. So I'm like so over YouTube and so fucking done with it. So we're moving to other platforms. I will still stay on YouTube like simultaneously, but yeah, I'm looking to get out. So there's that. And I hope you guys follow me wherever I go. For starters, I'll probably doing simultaneously on Kick, on YouTube, on Rumble. See, I don't really like Rumble though, but everyone here wants to go to Rumble over Kick. I happen to like Kick much better. But I couldn't get you guys coming over to Kick, which I really wish you guys would, because Kick is so much better for the creator than it is for any other platform. So, hey, Brian. Oh, they're going, see, I'm getting that too. And I'm like, why are they all of a sudden going through videos from fucking 2016? Like, wow. You didn't want to demonetize it for the last 7 years, but now you want to age restrict it and monetize it? Fuck you. Shit's fucking aggravating. No, not that Kick. Kick. I forget about it too, to be honest. I actually tried getting back on. I can't even fucking get back on it. I forgot how to use it. Not Kick. I forgot how to use I forgot that other platform. But I'm like, holy shit. So I think I'm just gonna do all of them at once and see what happens. And that when I go back on camera, which is coming, I promise. Restream, yeah. Thank you, Sly. Yeah, I don't remember how to use Restream. I tried like 4 times and I couldn't do it. I was like, wow, I'm a loser. So, but yeah. So I want to let you guys know what's happening in the world of candles before we start. Is I have put together 4 new collections. One of them is the one I'm having trouble with. But we got a winter collection. We have a wicked collection. We have an earth collection, and we have, oh my god, I forgot the other collection. But anyway, the wicked one is the one I'm having trouble with the pictures. Oh, and an earth collection. There was one more. I forgot. but I have a lot of candles to get pictures of, and it's just not working. So I'm hoping the 1 o'clock hour it'll work. Hey, Noni. I think YouTube has bigger problems with some creators are doing than for that. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And this mass, like, oh yeah, and the Zodiac. Thank you, Sweet Misery, and the Zodiac collection. So, like I said, I have all the candles done. It's just the picture taking I'm having a hard time with. But the first one is the Wicked collection, which I fucking love. And I know you guys are gonna love it too. I just got to get the pictures right. So I know like picture taken between like 1 and 2 is a good time. Candy, yes, I own a luxury candle company called Energy Candles. You're more than welcome to check out the link. Why, you're a good photographer, Whistledown? Because I suck. I need a pro photographer. But yeah, the Wicked line you guys are going to love. It's fucking awesome. And being that it's a new year, I figure Zodiac collection would be really good. So we added that as well. So everything will be done. It's got to be done by January 1st. Has to. So like I even told somebody, just hold out on buying candles till the new collections are up. Why are you crying? What's the matter? You want to go out? What? You want to go out? What? You want to go out? All right, hold on. I got to let Pumpkin out. Come on. Oh. All right. Now I'm going to do what the boys do. Just shut my door. So, okay. Let me just get started here because like I said, it's not going to be a long live. I'm going to be off pretty quick cuz I got to get the pictures done, but I made the fatal mistake of listening to Granny's Watching today. I was doing pictures, I was looking for something on YouTube. She popped up. I was like, "All right, look, I haven't listened to her in a while. Let's hear what, she's got to say." Oh my god. The amount of ass kissing and stupidity that I fucking heard today was mind-blowing. I I could not even believe the ass kissing that I was seeing to a fucking moron. And I'm not talking about Granny. I'm talking about SF Investigates. Oh, he's so wonderful. Oh, he's so smart. But oh my God. If he was so smart, he would explain and not lie. Let me show you what I mean. And I found this video after the fact. Oh shit, now I lost it. Hold on. And some guy, Steven, was on her panel. I don't know who Steven is. Oh, wait, let me go to history. All right. Oh, Stephen Crabtree? I guess that's who it was. I don't know. Oh, okay. I thank you. Next, I have a feeling I know who all these clones in my thing is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, especially since you were cloned. I have a feeling I know who it is. If you still have my number, reach out to me. And I'll tell you my thoughts. But the fact that somebody was doing it, nobody's fucking trolling me from anyone in the new people. So I know it's someone from the old crew. And the fact that you were cloned only confirm that I think I know who it is. I mean, just so you know, they weren't being rude or anything. Like, they were perfectly fine. They weren't being assholes. But I have a feeling I know who it is. So, all right. So SF Investigates puts out this comment. All joking aside, this is a serious matter. Bruce Castor Jr. has confirmed that his name was used fraudulently by the individuals listed below. Now, I want you guys, you really have to listen to what I'm reading, and I'll explain after. Each of them has committed a crime and is now being sued independently for their actions. All right, let me repeat this one more time, okay? Bruce Castor Jr. has confirmed that his name was used fraudulently by the individuals listed below. Each of them has committed a crime and is now being sued independently for their actions. Now, if you were reading that, what does that say to you? Because I'll tell you what it says to me. Reading SF Investigates comment that I just read, that clearly states that Bruce Castor Jr. is suing each and every one of them for their actions, and he's suing them independently. Do you guys see anything different in what SF is saying than what I just said? Just let me know. Because I know sometimes I do see things a little differently. But do you guys see anything different in that than what I just said? Because clearly it says he has confirmed that his name was used fraudulently by the individuals listed below. Each of them has committed a crime and is now being sued independently for their actions. That's what he's saying. He is saying that Bruce Castor and anyone that's listed, because I guess he made a list, that they all committed a crime and they're now being sued independently. Now let's see what Bruce Castor actually fucking said, okay? This is what he actually said. Gentlemen, Joseph Lesniak, which is Nick's attorney, and you, which I'm assuming is Nick, please take notice that I do not represent Mr. Chapman, or maybe Dog, that I do not represent Mr. Chapman in any legal action in Pennsylvania. I represent him relative to a matter in the state of Texas only. Okay, so what he's saying is he doesn't represent Dog the Bounty Hunter in every single case that he has. He only represents him on something that's ongoing litigation of something that happened in Texas. Okay. As I consider both of you friends and colleagues, okay, you see this? As I consider both of you friends and colleagues, I would hope that any misunderstanding in that regard is corrected. And what does that say? That says, hey, somehow I got roped into this lawsuit in Pennsylvania. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, or I was accidentally added for clout, or whoever wrote it, made a mistake and added me onto it for whatever reason, thinking that I represented Dog. So considering that it's a misunderstanding, since you guys are my friends, let's just correct it and make sure that nobody believes that I'm involved. Okay, fair enough. I would rather not. Okay, let me repeat that. I would rather not do anything official to draw attention to this issue. And I hope, Mr. Lesniak, that you will see to it that no one thinks that I'm representing Mr. Chapman in your pending action in Delaware County. Okay, again, he's saying, hey, dude, we're friends, but get me out of this. Like, there's no reason for me to be on this. But I don't think anyone did it intentionally. I don't think anyone is out to hurt me. So let's just make sure that everyone knows I'm not involved. Okay, no problem. Thank you for considering my request. Demand, regards, Bruce. Please show me where this lawsuit independently is happening. Please tell me who committed a crime. Why is SF Investigates lying through his fucking ass? And how do these two even go together? Like, are you fucking this stupid? SF, this is not what was fucking said at all. And you're the one that attached both of these. I don't get it. Oh, I didn't even realize I stopped her at that point. She's like, oh God, please help me. But where does SF Investigates become so fucking dumb that he puts that with what he wrote and makes it out like he's being sued? Like they're all being sued independently. The fuck is wrong with you? There's no conspiracy here. There's nothing. The guy, Bruce, whatever his name is, turned around, because he represents Dog the Bounty Hunter on a case in Texas, somebody roped him in for whatever reason into this lawsuit. He may not even be licensed in Pennsylvania, but he is Dog's attorney for an issue in Texas, which is where he's probably licensed. So it could possibly be, I know that a big shot investigator should have figured this out or looked into this, but a big shot investigator should have looked into, is Bruce so-and-so even fucking licensed in the state of Pennsylvania? Because if he's not, then I don't blame him for wanting to get his name off of this fucking thing, because that goes against his license. If he doesn't practice in the state of Pennsylvania and is not licensed in the state of Pennsylvania, and he is written on a lawsuit in the state of Pennsylvania, he can get in trouble. He can't represent someone in the state of Pennsylvania unless he's licensed. But I don't see that information anywhere to be found. I don't see Mr. Badass SF Investigates finding out if this was done not as an act of malice, but Bruce is like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to get in trouble with the board. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But here's SF implying to a bunch of fucking idiots that, oh, he's got a lawsuit and he's committed a crime. They're all committed a crime and now being sued independently for their actions. Where is that happening, SF? Please show me where this is happening, because I don't see Bruce suing any of them. Let me take a look at this. Hold on. I want to check something out, because I am not a big ass investigator and I bet I can find out. Give me 1 second. Is Bruce Castor Jr. licensed to practice law in the state of PA? The Honorable Bruce L. Castor Jr. has been selected for inclusion in Marquee Who's Who. Oh, he is in Pennsylvania. All right, my bad. Yeah, he is in Pennsylvania. He works for a law firm in Pennsylvania. All right. So there you go. Moot, my last point. But yeah, he's licensed practice in Pennsylvania. All right. I think there's a bunch of them. Yeah, he's in Pennsylvania. All right. So there goes that point. Yeah, I think so. I think he is. But he said he's representing him in Texas, so that's why I was confused. All right, either way, he doesn't want his name dragged through the mud. But I still hold um I still hold firm in what I'm saying though. Well, I still hold firm that SF is a fucking idiot. And he wants to imply that he knows all this stuff going on when he doesn't know jack shit. And it's pretty clear because it's clear as day what they were saying. So, SF, once again, you're lying to your audience, and all the idiots that watch you are like, wow, you're so smart. Wow, you're so wonderful. Wow, you're the smartest person I've ever known. You're a narcissist and you're a fucking moron. And you lie, you're a scammer, and you're no better than Bullhorn Betty. Oh, and I hear now you like JLR. Now JLR is like your best buddy. Bitch, sit the fuck down. All right. So that was one point I had to make. Second point I have to make. And there were all these ass kissers to this Stephen Crabtree, whatever. Stephen, I got crabs tree. He's another one that was like, oh, you don't know. SF is my friend and he's so smart and he's just the smart. I'm thinking to myself, Steven, you must not be that intelligent because SF Investigates is not exactly smart. He may put on a good front, he may cater to idiots like you, and therefore he seems so smart, but the man is a fucking moron. Uh, Proof right here. Right here proves what a fucking scammer he is. But anything so people like you can adore him and give him the narcissistic supply that he needs because that's what he feeds on. He doesn't find anyone, but that's what he feeds on is that narcissistic supply. So y'all can be like, "Oh, I'm so wonderful." Yeah, good luck to you. But let's move on. Like I said, I'm on a rant, so I'm kind of going one to the next, trying to get this done. So then Granny's watching. Guess who she was talking about for the 100th and 10th time? Yes, Brittany. Good old Brittany J, who barely talks about her. So now, in defense of Granny, I get what she did. I do. I totally get it. And I support her in that regard. And I'm going to tell you what that regard is. So Brittany jumped on board with these fucking losers and she's going to go after Granny. So Granny used her audience to raise money to to basically call her bluff. I commend her for that. Because if you have the means to call someone's bluff, go for it. Go for it. I mean, look how well that turned out for fucking QB. But seriously, if since Granny has the means to do it, no problem. Go for it. I fully support you in that. Like I really do. But here's where she lost me. And this isn't her fault, but it's her fault not to correct it. This Stephen, I have crabs tree, sits there and says to her, I almost threw up on my driveway. I swear to you. Sits there and says to her, oh, Granny, I can't even imagine the pressure you're under. I can't even imagine what you're going through, being a single mom and all. What? And this is so much pressure. Okay, let's back up a second, Mr. I have crabs. Granny lives with her mom and dad. Okay, she pays no bills. She pays no rent. Her lawsuit, she what's the word I'm looking for? She initiated it. Okay, she's not paying for it. So what's stressful? Speaking to her fucking lawyer that she doesn't pay for? Tell me what's stressful. Like, I would love to know what is so stressful. She's doing this as a fuck you to Britney, which again, I support that. But don't sit here and act like her life is stopped and the poor me when she fucking initiated it. Yeah, and she has no overhead and she lives at home with her mom and her dad who pay her bills. Sit the fuck down, dude. Like, seriously. She has no stress in this. Just like Queen Bee has no fucking stress in this. They're not paying for it. Stress comes when you actually have to pay for it. Okay? Stress comes when you have to take money out of your kid's mouth to pay for a fucking lawyer and you have to work all day. That is stressful. Someone that sits on fucking YouTube making money off a missing child who pays no rent and no bills and lives with her parents and has the whole lawsuit paid for by her subs, please sit down with the, oh my God, it's so stressful. Okay? Because you sound as stupid as your buddy SF. She has no idea what stress is. And someone, I think it was him, said today about being in jail and how she knows what that's like. And she said, yeah, I do. Well, don't let me break out the archives, but I remember specifically Granny saying that she never went to jail. So which is it, Granny? Did you go to jail or did you not go to jail? Because you came on my panel and said that you never went to jail. Because we were talking when I said I had to do 30 days and it was fucking boring as hell. And you said you never went to jail. Just saying. So which is it? Do you know what jail is like or do you not know what jail is like? Why can't you ever fucking tell something without lying? So then Granny's going on about going after Britney and how all Britney does is talk about her all the time. Granny, if I put you on and I put Britney on, you talk about Britney 14 times more than Britney ever talks about you. I don't know why you don't see this. She was doing Sebastian Rogers long before you ever came into the case. She was friends with Seth long before you ever came into the case. You only got into the case because you had to take the opposite of Britney and you were jealous of Britney. I don't know why more people don't tell you that it's so fucking blatantly obvious that because we all saw it. We all know that you only started with this case because you wanted a piece of what Britney was getting. And that's just the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Then you left Dietz, you left Jones in, you left all of them because you were only using them to get to Queen Bee because there you are kissing Queen Bee's fucking ass after she annihilated you. And there you are kissing her fucking ass like, give me another one. And you got exactly what you fucking wanted. And you kissed her ass enough, and now your channel blew up, and now you're all happy. You got B-Tim sitting there right next to you. You're a fucking joke, dude. I don't give a fuck how many numbers you have. Numbers fade. Once this fucking case is done, ask Jay for justice what happens. She'll tell you she went through it with fucking Chris Watts. I don't know why you think you're invincible. You're not going to blow up like JLR. You're not going to continue to blow up. You, Britney, all of them, every single one of us that had a case like that knows what's going to happen. It's just going to. So stop thinking you're like on top of the fucking world here. So, but that's not even what I want to focus on. What I'm focusing on is they're all a fucking joke. Every single one of them. They are using a missing child like he's a fucking banter between them. Like, why are you using a missing child's case to go after Brittany J? Why? Just tell me why. If you want to take Brittany to court, then fucking take Brittany to court. In one breath, these assholes sit there. Oh, the RICO case is a joke and it wasn't filed and, it wasn't filed right and blah, blah, blah. Then why'd you raise money for it? Why are you raising money for a case that you think is a joke? You sit there and scream, I was named in a RICO case. That RICO case is as solid as me writing a letter to Granny right now. I think it's less, what's the word I'm looking for? Less meaningful than a C&D. I really do. It means less than a C&D. It was not signed by a judge. I could go into the courts and file something against True Texan and say True Texan harassed me, but I never bring it in front of a judge. Do you know what that paper is worth? Not a fucking thing. That paper is just a paper sitting in a fucking courthouse. There is no RICO case. There is no charges. There is no lawsuit. How many motherfucking times do you guys need to learn to be schooled on the fucking law? It's worthless. Big deal. So you were named in a RICO case that was never signed by a fucking judge. It's going nowhere. It means nothing. But of course you had to raise money and you're all paranoid. Oh my God, I was named in a RICO case. If nobody told you yet, it's worthless. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And a lawyer not telling you that, you should fire that lawyer and find someone that will tell you the truth, because this one's just taking your fucking money. Have you looked at the laws of an anti-slap suit? That's going to be as worthless as this fucking RICO case. But seriously, anybody can go into a courthouse and put something on record. I could say that True Texan, Pine Mountain, Whistledown, and Kimberly Machowski and Lindsay Lee harassed me, and I want to get them on stealing my vape. They all stole my vape. That's theft. They're all being indicted for theft. If I don't bring it in front of a judge and I just stick it in a fucking file, you know what that means? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And they can all sit there and scream, oh my God, I was named as a theft and I didn't do anything. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Right, Lindsay? But you see what I'm saying, though? It means nothing unless I bring it in front of a judge and have a judge sign it. Then we're in deep shit. Then I could see getting an attorney. But that piece of paper, yeah, you guys all start a lawyer fund now. That piece of paper is worth nothing. It has been, 2 months or so? Is it like 2 months already? Since that has been filed, and it's still not in front of a judge. There is no action pending. There is nothing. They put that in there just in case something happens and they want to do something with it. Okay? The fact that you all, not you guys, that everyone in Granny's chat is so dumb that they truly think oh my God, Granny was named in a RICO case. Just study the law for 30 seconds and you would know that if it's not signed by a judge, it means nothing. Even a C&D. If you write a C&D to someone and you don't have it signed by a judge, it's worthless. It's just like, a thing. And if you do get it signed by a judge, even then it's almost worthless. But it's more worth a fuck if you actually get it signed by a judge. But if you don't, then it's just a fucking piece of paper put in a court system. That's all it is. At least I can say that QB, at least we know that she actually has an actual lawsuit. That's a whole nother realm of shadiness, and I'm not justifying her lawsuit. I'm just saying, at least we know that is an actual lawsuit that a judge looks at, that a judge has to sign, and there's lawyers involved. Well, there's one lawyer involved, and we know Betty has gone through the courts. Like, we get all that. But at least we know that's an actual lawsuit signed by a judge. But this bullshit, this literal bullshit. Oh, Lindsay, that's why I said that's a whole nother realm of scamming. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying that at least we know there's an actual lawsuit. And it was signed by a judge. And there is a judge involved. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But Granny is screaming about having a lawsuit and blah, blah, blah. Now, B. Tim sat up there and B. Tim said, it is scary that you are, whenever you're named in a RICO suit, I imagine that's scary. Now, that could very well be B. Tim's way of justifying that he gave this scammer $1,200 and thought he was doing the right thing for GW. So maybe that's his way to justify what he did, and that's possible. So I don't fault him for that. B. Tim is scared of a hangnail. No, I don't fault him for that. Because if I turned over $1,200 and realized I was being scammed, yeah, I'd kind of want to justify it in other ways. So I get that. But to listen to her go on and him say, oh, well, being named in a RICO case is scary. And yeah, but B. Tim, you're not stupid. So why didn't you look up for 5 seconds or even speak to a lawyer? And a lawyer would have told you that if it wasn't signed by a judge, it's just sitting in a court. It means nothing. Literally nothing. I don't think he realized he was scammed because I think initially it came down to, yes, you were named in a RICO case. Everybody thought it was real. And he saw Queen Bee. I mean, I get it. What I don't understand, though, is why B. Tim, who's obviously well-liked, is going to work every day, busting his ass, while he's sitting on these creators who don't want to work or can't get a job because they're felons, according to GW. And yet you're working your ass off and you're making them all the money and neither one of them are giving you shit. Make it make sense. Are you just that nice of a guy or are you just that blind? Personally, I think you're that blind because I really don't think you're that great of a guy or that nice of a guy. Well, I'm just saying, though, just me, he is actually working. He holds a job. And yet he holds her panel together. And now he's got people over on Granny's panel. It makes no sense to me. Hey, Aslan. I just don't understand why do that. Why bother making all these people money while you're working your ass off, going to work every day in the fucking cold ass New York? Make it make sense. I don't get it. We're trying to retain Jay-Z's lawyer. He's at 20 grand a week. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck with that one, Whistle Down. Good luck with that one. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, and there were... hold on. Go. Robin, stop barking at the door. Do you think it's both reasons? I don't know. I just could not believe what I was hearing. And then again, it was the ass kissing. So then Granny goes on to say, not only is B-Tim making them money by running the Beast panel and jumping on GWs, but Didi pays them. I know, that's what I'm saying, Lindsay. I don't get it. Like, what the fuck? It's like, what the hell is wrong with you, B-Tim? It's one thing if he was making money on his own channel, but are you like that desperate for friends? And the tagging of Sebastian Rogers' name. Hello. Why are you tagging his name to talk about drama? Do you see me tagging his name? Absolutely not. Because I'm talking about drama. Now, he has to work. How's he going to pay his bills? I believe he works, but I believe that QB is his total social life. I thought he was a lady when I first met him. I really thought he was a girl, like an older lady. I had no idea it was a guy. Yes, B-Tim pays QB. I mean, super chats, everything. Meanwhile, he keeps her panel intact. I kindly told a person not to get involved. I was made to look like the villain. Castor has never been in... Castor's name gave credibility to At Night. Yeah, I agree with that. But Castor is also bounty hunter, dog's attorney on another issue. So I can see where Nick may have, messed it up, or maybe Nick wrote it. I heard something along the lines that Nick may have written it. And even if he did, but it's like they're all talking about... All right, for example, we know, and I'll say this until the cows come home, we know for a fact that Brittany J became friends with Seth Rogers for whatever reason. Okay. He's a mod on a channel, or at least was. I don't know if he still is. So Granny came around and she started putting these horrible things about Seth Rogers. All right. And started, going after Seth. All because Brittany likes Seth. And of course, Granny had to take the opposite. So Granny starts bashing Seth. And now everybody just loves Chris and Katie Proudfoot. The odds of Seth being guilty over Chris and Katie are the same odds that I am going to win lotto in a state that doesn't have lotto. All right? Alabama doesn't have lotto. I'm going to win lotto tonight in the state of Alabama. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Seth Rogers, who is at work, who doesn't want to work, but is at work, did something to his child under Katie Proudfoot's nose while Katie was in the house and was allegedly the only one in the house. If you can convince me in any capacity that Seth would be more guilty than Chris and than Katie is, then I'll give you fucking free candles for a year. Because the logic in that is none. Absolutely none. And no car was ever seen. He must have been in the garage, because that's how this kid allegedly got out. Thank you, True Texan. That's how this kid allegedly got out, was from a was from the garage, because there were no cars seen. Can we get off the fucking parents? All of them. Every single one of them. Can you be served papers for an injunction without a judge signing? Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can be served papers, but it doesn't mean anything. If a judge doesn't sign it, it doesn't go anywhere. That whole thing was a scare tactic. That's all it was. Oh, they're saying he talked a prisoner into doing something, even though their calls are monitored and they can't just leave the jail. Why would he convince a prisoner to do something to his own child? His son was supposed to go live with him. And Seth, honestly, aside from Sebastian, Seth is a fat, lazy fuck who wants to do nothing but nothing. Chris Proudfoot is a narcissistic fat fuck, and Katie is just a codependent. So, yeah. And with the reward money that's out there, you don't think a prisoner would have said something already? Hell, fuck yeah. I'm almost ready to call and say, I know information. Give me a break. I'm just saying, Jeanette, it's true, though. They're all equally fucked up. Every single one of them are equally fucked up. But with this much money on the line, with this $250,000 that at night can't even pay, but people don't know that. All these people. Oh, Seth is back to work. But all of these people that want to sit there and say Seth is more guilty than Chris, or Katie's more guilty, and none of them are fucking guilty, people. And if they are, prove it. But to come up with these conspiracy theories that Seth is hired a prisoner, and prisoners are so honest that with $250,000 riding on the line, they're not going to tell anyone. Get the fuck out of here. Just think the game of telephone. If you have a game of telephone, yes, dear. Okay. All right. In all fairness, I have not followed the case at all. I don't know who's working. I don't know who's who. I don't even know who the fuck Stephen I got Crabtrees is. Like, I don't even know who these people are. So last I knew, Seth was a fat fuck who didn't want to work. So I apologize. If he's back at work, good for him. Just saying. But Creek Squad. But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, yeah, how wasn't he in Oklahoma? Maybe he just went to Oklahoma for Christmas, but I don't know. But I'm just saying, though, neither one of them should be conspiracy theoried. None of them. If the cops had something, they would have continued with it. There's a reason why no real reporters are talking about the case, because there's nothing to talk about. There's a reason why no real true crime people are talking about the case, because there's nothing to talk about. Sebastian Rogers went missing. What happened to him? We don't know. We don't know. He's with Summerwell somewhere. We don't know. But bashing the parents of any missing child. I don't give a fuck who it is. Any missing child is disgusting. It's wrong. And I don't care who the fuck you are. And I don't care who doesn't like it. It doesn't matter if it's Chris, Katie, Seth, or fucking anybody. Move on. You want to keep Sebastian's name in the press. You want to love Sebastian when, even though it's a kid you never even fucking met. Fine. Then keep his name alive by moving on. Keep his name alive by fucking stop coming up with these crazy ass conspiracy theories and going after the parents. And stop listening to people like SF Investigates, who's a fucking moron. And stop worrying about what Nick and Betty and all these other idiots, they're all fucking fools. Every single person on my cover, on my, whatchamacallit, on my thumbnail, they're all a fucking joke. And there's many more. Vinny Paladin's one of his last videos on it said the dad is the only one out there hollering about his missing son. I think he supports Seth. See, but on the same time, that's not totally true, because we heard from Ken Marr, who said the Proudfoots reached out to him and wanted him to help look for their child. And at the same time, none of us know what we would do if it was us. We don't. And I say that, I thought, and I mean, I can only use this as an analogy because it's close to me, and thank God I don't have a missing child. But never in my wildest dreams did I think that I was going to come down with cancer, that I was actually going to have fucking cancer, and I was going to take it like a champ, and I was going to do what I had to do and never think about it again. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that was going to happen. I always thought, oh my God, if I ever get diagnosed with cancer, I'm just going to off myself. I'm just going to kill myself. I'm going to do all these things and blah, 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 blah. But I didn't. If God forbid you have a missing child, you think all of the millions of things you're going to do, all of the millions of things that you think you're going to do. But then when it happens, all of a sudden, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe, spending every single day looking for them out every day is not the right thing to do. Did they make mistakes? Absolutely, they made mistakes. But I understood those mistakes. If I had JLR creeping around my house every day, I wouldn't want to fucking be here. I'd be like, yeah, I'm coming with you. I'm out. I could tell you how far I went when I lost my cat. I'm just saying, though, you don't really know what you're going to do unless you're in that situation. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe in a way, it was a relief for her. Maybe in a way, maybe she knows where he is and he's fine. That's another thing I heard, by the way. Somebody said on Granny's, it's just not true that, they were trying to get rid of Sebastian. Actually, they were. They were ready to give him to Seth like 2 years ago. Then they were going to put him in some kind of home or something. He obviously wasn't an easy kid. So to sit there and say, oh, that's just a big lie. No, not from what I heard. Oh, 100% just me. He had a big hand in it. You ever notice wherever JLR shows up, there's always some kind of drama controversy? Always. It's never easy. It's always some major controversy happening with JLR and whoever's there. They were looking at residential schools. Thank you. They were looking at residential schools, and they wanted him to not be with them. But that doesn't mean they're going to fucking kill them. I mean, there's a big difference of looking for boarding schools and looking at murder. Big difference. So, I don't know what kind of kid he was. And I don't know, Amber. They could have stashed him away in a private school. It's very possible. Totally possible. But for them to act like, I hear on Granny's Watching today, some woman's like, that's a total fucking lie. They weren't trying to get rid. Yeah, they actually were. But getting rid of him is a bad way to put it. But yes, they wanted to put him in either boarding school or have Seth take him. Like, they needed a break. And I understand it. Anybody with an autistic kid understands it. You do sometimes want a break. No private school. Well, it could be underground. I'm not losing hope that he's underground somewhere. That he went underground so he didn't have to go to Seth. I wouldn't doubt that. You never know. People go missing and come up 10 years later. Yeah, they were looking at schools for troubled teens. The same kind where children die and the same kind where Paris Hilton speaks out about. I'm just saying, though, it is possible that, Katie got rid of him somewhere. And I don't mean murder. It is possible. Or it's possible he disappeared into thin air, which I don't think is possible. JLR was mad at Seth. He made a live saying why. Seth asked him for help and then ghosted him and send the cops on him in Magnolia. JLR doesn't take the sitting down. I don't believe all that. Well, Brandley, you're right about that. I'm just saying I would much rather not think that he's dead. I still think maybe Summer Wells is alive somewhere. I still like to have hope. Until that hope is gone, I'm not going to wish a child dead. I'm not going to believe that a child is dead. I'm going to look at other possible avenues and say, hey, maybe they're here. Maybe they're there. Maybe they're here. You know what I mean? Just like if it was my child, I would never give up hope, ever. I would never be like, okay, they're dead. They must be dead. Even though I may feel it in my heart, I would never think it, ever. Angel, okay, you should go back to Queen Bee or Granny's Watching because that's where you belong. JLR would get revenge when mad and do bad things. Well, because JLR has to be the man. He the man. Whoop. Money and the right people can do many things. They don't seem possible to a normal person. That's what exactly. Bentley, I could not agree with you more. Could not agree with you more. The sides on this are insane. And you're right. Every single one of them, nobody's better than the other. They're all trash. Every single one of them. All they talk about are conspiracy theories. All they talk about are fucking bullshit. How about let's talk Sebastian? Not one of them talks about Sebastian. You got Betty fucking running her mouth about who knows what. You got Nick, who's a fucking fraud. Show me somebody in this case that's not a felon or a fraud. Show me one. You got Betty, fraud. JLR, fraud. Nick, fraud. Queen Bee, criminal. Felon. Granny's Watching, felon. Criminal, fraud. J is for justice, fraud. I don't think nonsense is a fraud. So we'll leave her out. Seth, fraud. Tony the Hat, fraud. I mean, think about it. Who's left. SF investigates, narcissistic fraud. Just because he's got credentials doesn't mean he's less of a fraud. The most innocent person in this case is B. Tim. How scary is that? He literally is the only person I hear talk about this case that isn't a fucking criminal. I don't know Clue. KKK Clue, I don't know much about her. So I really can't mention her. Brandley, did you see the beginning of this video? When I went through what's on my screen? He's a liar. He's just a fucking liar. And these idiots bow down to him like he's so special. And I'm like, wow, you're dumber than he is. If you think he's anything to worry about, oh my God. Just me, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Hey, Gossip Bay. But Misery, what I'm saying is, I don't know if she is legit. I don't know if she's a criminal. I don't know if she's a fraud. I have no idea. Like, I don't know anything about her. I've watched her a couple of times. She's funny, but I just don't know much about her. He said Seth M'd his son. He put that out. He said, who M'd his son? I like your name, Gossip Bay. That who M'd his son, Chris? Yeah, I can't say anything if I don't like know their history. And I just don't know her history. Oh, SF said Seth M'd Sebastian. Oh, that's nice. Good job, SF. More lies that you put out. As a matter of fact, Brandley, I heard something about that, but I didn't like I said, I haven't followed the case. They've made such a fucking mockery about the case. Stated as fact, kind of like he just says in here that each one of them committed a crime and is now being sued, and Bruce never said anything like that. Yeah. Well, did you see Just Me? He was like backing up fucking JLR. All of a sudden, JLR is his hero. Like, bitch, sit down. You're a fucking moron. I cannot stand the guy. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one. I'm so glad other people see what a piece of shit narcissist he is. Hold on. Let me see if he has anything new on Twitter. Honestly, I can't even believe he doesn't block me. Here we go. Betty made a post 4 hours ago. From where I sit, hold on, I'll clue you guys in. I know a lot of you guys don't even have Twitter. Well, from where I sit, all the people surrounding the mom and stepfather in this case are not just criminal, but past felons that are doing still criminal activity. Betty, did you forget about Nick's record? Let's pull up all the fraudulent shit that Nick went to jail for. As a matter of fact, Nick is still on probation, isn't he? Or parole. He's not even allowed near a case. So who's a criminal? Why don't they focus on the crimes committed instead of people with pasts? Betty. And I normally don't go after Betty. Betty, let's reread what you just fucking wrote, you stupid moron. Anyone surrounding the mom and stepfather in this case are not just criminal, but past felons. Past felons, okay? Past felons. in the next line, you write, why don't they focus on the crimes committed instead of people with pasts? Betty, you can't be this fucking stupid. They might get a little further because stating that's in the past, then the entire Proudfoot camp would be required to stand down. How many of their people are on parole? Just saying. How many people of yours are on parole, Betty? And you got 18 hearts for that. 18 fucking hearts. Does anybody not see what an idiot you are, Betty? Wow. Just wow. You believe JLR. I don't know who Ghetto Chick is, but Nick the Hat is a YouTuber. So why do you believe him so easy? Anyone who is on parole for fraud isn't someone who should be easily trusted. If he's not careful, he could go straight back to prison. Believe it or not, it does happen. That I will give a heart up for. What the fuck? Alex Jones is back on Twitter? When did they let Alex Jones back on Twitter? See you at 10 a.m. You won't want to miss this live. Unscrupulous. Ooh, that might be good. Are we being scammed by an unscrupulous PI? Ooh. Laura is a scammer. I'm a scammer. I am such a scammer. And I mocked a kid whose kid died? What the fuck are you talking about? Anyone in a chat is vile, but here you are. Here you are, Peggy Travis. All right, we got to skim through this. I got to see what she wrote. Granny stolen. A lot of people trust her. QB drug felon and people trust her. Exactly, just me. Exactly. I was reading Twitter, but Betty did a video about SF. I got to watch.
All the efforts volunteers put forth was Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. And when people asked them why they weren't out searching for their very son that went missing from their home, they told people that it was because law enforcement told them to stay home. However, that very evening, they were seen at a barbecue joint outside of the home.
Okay, Betty, people are allowed to eat. Just saying. People are definitely allowed to eat.
Enjoying a dinner laid out for you is only a not really paying much attention to her son except to snap these photos. And why were these photos not released to the public when he went missing on February 26th? Please look over the footage and let me know if you see anything out of the ordinary. Please send any information that you have related to this video to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. That's bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Sebastian Rogers has not been seen again by a third party since this video was captured. He was reported missing the next morning at 6:33 a.m. by his stepfather that was 3 hours away in Memphis, Tennessee. Allegedly, when Katie woke up at 6 a.m., Sebastian was not in his bed. Many people speculate and assume that the mom and stepdad had something to do with his disappearance. There was 5 CPS reports. One of those reports are still active. Their behavior has been odd since his disappearance. And we've learned recently that Katie and Chris have been trying to find a place to put Sebastian since October of 2022. Since he disappeared, They have hired the most vile people to work for them, to cause distractions, to cause reputational and personal harm to those searching for their son. We're also learning that another affiliate of the mom and stepfather have filed suit against the father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers.
Yeah, speaking of, can someone please tell me who was suing Seth and why? I keep hearing about it, but I don't know. Who is suing Seth and why? I better get to SF. What the hell is that?
They're not as good as they.
Leave it to Betty to put all her searches in a video about Sebastian Rogers. And of course, she's, Sebastian is tagged. Yeah, someone's suing Seth.
They think they are. And we caught on very early on, along with a lot of social media content creators in our audience, because you guys are here with us literally every day going through these cases. You guys, oh, good gracious. Right? I thought everybody was all about Sebastian and finding answers to Sebastian and all of this. And, we have the leader of the pack, Mr. Proudfoot himself, making a debut on ET's channel.
Okay. No individual licensed as an investigations company or private investigator in this state shall, in order to obtain employment, knowingly make a material misrepresentation as to the person's ability to perform the investigation required by a potential client, make unsubstantiated monetary charges to a client for services not rendered, knowingly make a false statement to a client in relation to the investigation performed, continue an investigation for a client when it becomes obvious to the investigator. Okay, I don't care what state that is. This is all standard stuff. So I want to see the point she's going to get at.
Telling everybody, stay away from the drama and just focus on Sebastian. Well, this is his employee. So we learned on ET's channel that there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes of their camp, right? Doing dirty. And they're trying to apply. We do that. I can guarantee every conversation I have been in has been all above board. I don't play that bull junk at all. If I've seen somebody trying to be sly, trying to tell me what narrative I needed to run, that would be the next breaking news on my channel, that somebody's telling me how to and what. They're not running their families out of their homes around Christmas. I can tell you so far, who's harassing Riv? Riv, if you're on channels or anybody's harassing you, just block them. You don't deserve that. And anybody that is, River has been, so that is absolutely disgusting. Chill. All right. So here is what we learned. This is from the state of Tennessee. It's the state of Tennessee code. They haven't updated for 2024. So 2023 would be the most recent code that we will have available to us. And what these violations are, these are actual private eye violations, saying that they are not allowed to do these things. And what are they not allowed to do? In order to obtain employment, knowingly make material misrepresentations as to the person's ability to perform the investigation required by the potential client. Now, if you guys remember, this man has no evidence that he found 14 to 15 people in 2023 or 2022 or whatever he tries to allege he did. None. I actually went back and looked for any and all news articles related to this guy. He's never given you even a list of who he supposedly has found. I would think that that would be a proud list for him to have on his site, which he does not, because he lies about everything. Let's be honest. Make unsubstantiated monetary changes to a client's services not rendered or transportation not utilized. This we have absolute 100% fact has happened. In the Layla Santinello case, he told her father, George, and her father's girlfriend, Brittany, that he was going to work for them pro bono. And then, oh, by the way, if you need me to go out there and actually search, you're going to have to pony up $3,000. That's an unsubstantiated monetary change to his client.
Betty, are you really this fucking stupid? What that's saying is you can't charge, like, give me $3,000 and then I'm not going to fly there. That's what that means, Betty. Get a clue. You're reading it and you're giving out fake information. He can change his story and say, okay, I'm going to do this pro bono. And then, but you're going to have to pay for my airfare if you want me to go there. That's perfectly normal and completely in his right. God, she's so dumb.
That's an example of that. Knowingly make a false report to a client in relation to the investigation performed for the client, such as the videos, the video of the video, right? The botched job that they did to try to throw the public off about the line of sight. That was a false report. Now, 4, I'm unsure of because I'm not that involved.
No, Betty, a false report is Chris Proudfoot. I know that Seth M'd your child. That's a false report. That's what they're talking about, Betty. They're not talking about some fucking stupid ass video. How does someone become so stupid? Someone tell me. Who claims she's so smart?
Involved with the clients of this unscrupulous PI. And it's continue an investigation for a client when it becomes obvious to the investigator that a successful completion of an investigation is unlikely without first advising the client and obtaining the client's approval for continuation of the investigation. I don't know if that exists. I know the other 3 exist above it. And I believe this one down here, number 5, also exists as a violation. So we have 4 out of 5 violations that this man has committed in Tennessee. Reveal, and we all know this to be true, right? Because everybody's watching his X channel. Reveal information obtained for a client during an investigation to another individual. He has disseminated findings that are owned by his client without client's approval to the entire world on his X platform. That is a violation of his license. So we brought that up to the public about this.
Betty couldn't be more wrong in all of this if she tried harder. And I hate SF.
Violations of his license. And now all of a sudden we've got letters going to employers for the national spokesperson, which has never done anything wrong. All he's done is spoke. I mean, what are they trying? And they're trying to get him to lose his job. They have tried to get Nick the Hack thrown in jail because they don't like the fact that he's investigating, his company is investigating this. So because he's the low man on the totem pole and he's on parole, they decide to start brigading his parole officer to try to get him to force them to arrest them. Force them to. These people are sick in the flipping heads. And we have this unscrupulous PI that is involved in all of this chaos and misinformation and disinformation in this case. And just recently has posted this unsubstantiated post by an attorney. But when you look at the, I guess, screenshot, it seems defective on its face. And what do I mean? We have receipts here. I think somebody manufactured an email to make it look like it came from Bruce Castor. I truly do. Bruce Castor was never my attorney. Bruce Castor is Dog's attorney. Dog's attorney, okay? Lesniak is the one that's representing At Night, from my understanding. Lesniak is their attorney, and by the umbrella is my attorney. So I just want to go over some of the stuff that is coming out on this. While I'm not going to be discussing an ongoing and active legal litigation, because I am also a plaintiff in that litigation, I do want to debunk the BS rumor, and this right here, of this screenshot. We're going to go over it. Is this Photoshopped? I truly believe it is Photoshopped. All joking aside, this serious matter, Bruce Castor has confirmed that his name was used fraudulently by individuals listed below. Now, I do want to say that even this screenshot of commentary doesn't even state what he's saying, which is another perplexing issue. It says each of them has committed a crime and is now, no, dear, don't try to keep, just because we are proving you keep committing crimes, don't sit here and try to throw shade and do this running of a narrative, because the only person committing crimes is that you and the people you represent, period. And I'm going to say that, I'm not even going to say allegedly. Sue me. It's sad to witness such an egregious attempt to exploit every penny. Really, we're exploiting every penny. Interesting. So you mean to tell me, Mr. Fisher, that when you go and troll missing person cases and you find the most desperate parents in the world that will actually even entertain working with your sorry ass, you're telling me that when you flip the switch and say, hey, give me all the money you have, give me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, that's not committing crime? That's not a violation? Okay, whatever. I think people out here are a little smarter than that, sir. It's sad to witness such an egregious attempt to exploit every penny from a missing child. Never mind. Do you guys know that SF Investigates located a woman and reached out to her family and would not tell that family the location of that woman until he was paid $2,000? He literally withheld the location of a woman missing until he extorted $2,000 from the family. It is absolutely in the news. I was able to find that. So this is your unscrupulous PI. While I only have the ability to hold them accountable in civil court, I sincerely hope the magnitude of this deceit catches up. Patty, you intervened in this case, and I can't wait until the attorneys are done with your sorry ass. I sincerely hope the magnitude of, I'm not even going to read this. Let's just go straight to this attachment here. I don't have time for his bullshit. And that's exactly what it is. First of all, there's something I see right here. It says to Joe Lesniak, and it appears and you at 10:55. Well, I want you guys to pay very close attention to this attachment. It says, gentlemen, please take notice that I do not represent Mr. Chapman in any legal action. Did you guys see all that? Yeah, I want you to look at, because right here, again, not sure where these things came from. Right here, look at the changes. So we have a different color in this number right here than we do of this number. Okay, this is legitimate. This right here is a legitimate. Let me open this up just a little bit more. I just want to focus on these two. Let me go. There we go. That might look a little better. Just dad burn it. I don't like it getting that big. I just try to lift just a little bit further. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we can see it now. Yay! Don't mind Bullhorn Betty. I do this occasionally. So I want you to look at several different things. Bruce Castor. Okay, first of all, this is allegedly from Bruce Castor Jr. versus Bruce Castor. This is a legitimate one right here. This is one that we know for a fact is from Bruce Castor. We have BC. You see BC up here, and now we have BL. The timestamp on here are of different color. It's a different color. It's a different print and format. Look at the font. The font is different. So you've got this 10:55 a.m., 8:24 p.m. This is a legitimate one. You can see how, I hate when I do that because I use two fingers instead of one when I try to scroll up. I'm on Mac. Okay. So you see how this is signed by Bruce. It says Happy Holidays. You see how the spacing is on here. Then it says Bruce L. Castor Jr. Again, BC, BL. And it gives all of his, because lawyers are required on all of their correspondence, they must have attorney at law, their address, and their contact information, which, as you see, is on every single documentation, with the exception of the one produced by SF. It doesn't look like any other tweet or correspondence through tweet or email. And for an attorney not to have his signature block is a big no-no. But allegedly, his signature block is fully missing from.
Hey, guys, she's got a really fucking good point. A really good point. And I'm not shocked at all. The thing that stands out to me, and she's right about this, but what stands out to me is the BC and the BL. Well, then again, Bruce L. Castor. I don't know. It's a pretty good point, though. She might be on something. But then again, I thought he faked something. But it's true, though. He would never just write Bruce. So I think she's onto something here. I really do.
The screenshot that was produced by this unscrupulous PI. Okay? This is how we combat misinformation. We bring out the facts. It sounds to me like the person that prepared this does not want to be acknowledged. The person knows who they are. I want to tell them thank you for putting this compilation together so we could see visually that this is inappropriate and inaccurate. I don't know where this guy would get it, but let's talk about this. This is an attorney. Do you honestly think that an attorney is going to allow attorney-client privilege to be leaked to a defendant in the case? Does that even remotely sound right from somebody like Bruce Castor that represents and has represented clients like Donald J. Trump? And he is representing dogs.
That's another thing Granny said. Granny says today, oh, and the new administration comes in, things are going to change. Bitch, what the fuck do you think Trump is going to do for you? Not a goddamn fucking thing. Whether you like Trump or not, what do you think the new administration is going to do? The only thing that's changing is a few people. But they ain't doing shit for you. Or Sebastian, or this case. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know if it is a Texas matter. I don't know. It was the defendant. One of the defendants is SF. He's being added to this. He wanted to be involved in the case so much, right? He made it easy too. You don't even really need to serve him because he's already served himself. Funny how it says Lesniak and you. What the fuck is that? I know. I know. And you see how the other one, the one shows up here. I mean, you guys can see it with your own eyes. Let me put it up. I'll try to blow it up a little bit more. See, this is what it shows. It shows two names, +1, +2, +4. But somehow this one over here sticks in and you. Different font, different colors, and no signature block down at the bottom. And look how far away the spacing is on this. This does not look normal. It does not look, and it doesn't look like somebody that is Bruce. So I don't know. I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it's legitimate or not. I have a hard time believing that any attorney would be releasing this information to anybody other than their client. I don't, again, I don't know. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And I don't believe SF has this.
Okay, but Betty, it says, it shows right underneath. He just cut it off, but you can tell it's probably there. Just saying.
Not only that, but why all of a sudden, if he's so unconcerned about this and thinks that we're all doing criminal activity, why is he constantly having to bolster his claims as if he's trying to convince people that it to be true? Like, you don't hear us talking about this case. Why? Because we're going to let it go through the process the way it is. We don't believe anything that they say. I know for a fact that me, as well as the people that filed those affidavits, we went through all those affidavits with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that they were accurate. I know I did for me. I know Chase and Crimes did it for her. She read through her whole affidavit. Nothing in there was inaccurate at all. So for him to constantly keep saying that we're filing fraudulent stuff, I know I have not lied at all under oath. Never. Have never. I believe in the justice system. I tell the truth, whether I like it or not. Even when I was on the stand, they asked me, what did I think? Do I think Katie and Chris murdered their kid? I said, yes. You think I wanted to answer that? I knew that was going to be prejudicial for me, but I'm there to tell the truth, right? And that is my truth. I believe they did something to their kid and covered it up. And so I don't have any need to lie under for anything, right?
Okay, this is where I can't listen to her anymore. I can't do it. I thought she was going to go more about SF, but it's not. It's all Katie. It's all her. Oh, I agree with you, Criminal Med. I absolutely agree with you. I think they're all fucking insane. But the point is, she just said, does none of us talk about this case? You're right. None of you guys do talk about it. But they talk about letting, this injunction and things will happen. Dude, it's not even signed. Hold on. I'm going to prove it. See, yeah, I can't even find anything that talks about an injunction that's not signed by a judge. I can't even find anything. Yeah, but a judge has to sign it for it to be worth anything. It's just sitting in a court document. It means nothing. Like a preliminary injunction is an interlocutory order issued by a judge. Theirs is not issued by a judge. Theirs is nothing. Theirs is a piece of paper. Theirs is a piece of paper sitting in a court file. No, a judge doesn't review it before making a decision. A judge signs it before a judge is supposed to sign it before you get served or anything. But there was not even a motion filed. It's just a piece of paper that was filed in a document. That's it. It's as worthless as a C&D. They were served because you could serve anybody. It was filed, so it was served. To serve somebody, all you have to do is pay like $50. Sometimes cheaper. What's an injunction? An injunctive relief usually takes one of three forms: temporary restraining order, preliminary injunction, or permanent injunction. They all need to be signed by a judge. That just me, that's exactly what I've been saying. How are you going to do an anti-slap something on something that's not even it's not even anything? Correct. After the clerk's office forwards the file to the judges had 2 months. Nothing is been forwarded. If it was that important and it was that big, the lawyer would have got in front of the judge. They don't want it in front of the judge because it's all just a scare tactic. That's it. It didn't tell me much. It's just scare tactic. It'll never see the light of day. It will never mean a fucking thing. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. But what's happening? Everybody, all of them are making money on it. Every single one of them. It's fucking ridiculous. While they all point the fingers at somebody else and they all say how somebody else is worse, they're all fucking gross. Every single one of them are disgusting. From Nick to Betty to fucking Seth to Tony to Granny to Brittany. Every single one of them are fucking disgusting. Exactly. Nothing will move into court without a judge assigned and signed. Yeah, right, Liza? All criminals involved. They're all frauds. And that's why I say the subs play a part in it. The subs that are fueling this and feeding this are just as bad. And the ones that are sitting there like, oh, poor Granny, poor Brittany, sit the fuck down. You guys are being played for a fool. Can you look up the county court, see if the judge was assigned yet? I don't even know what county it's in. Ask Amber. Amber's the one that's good at looking shit up. I'm not. I for some reason, I can't look up the courts. I doubt it, though. I don't think a judge would ever be assigned. Because that's going to cost Lezak money that he doesn't want to do. This was just, hey, can you write something up? So we have it. And I don't doubt that fucking Nick wrote it. I wouldn't put it past that Nick wrote it and Lezak just fucking, okayed it. But just notice how they're all pointing fingers at everybody else. Nobody wants anyone to look in their own backyard. Let's just point the finger elsewhere. It's fucking disgusting. All of them should be ashamed of themselves because they are all fucking gross. All statements on the slab have to be absolutely true. It's not going to work, so I hope they're all honest. They're starting out not honest, just me. Like, I don't know anything about Barbecue Lady, but I do know that for Granny to say that it's all on Britney and she's just an innocent victim of Britney's, bitch, sit down. You sound stupid. Everybody knows that you talk about Britney more than Britney ever talks about you. But she's an innocent victim in all this. She was so taken back that she was named in a bullshit RICO. Bitch, sit down. You fucking scammer. Correct. The injunction is basically them creating a paper trail of complaints. Excellent way to put it. And 100% correct. Think about it. They have such a RICO case that they need strangers on the internet to give injunctions. Like, hello? You contact Nick, and Nick will take your complaints and put it in the file. Hey, Rocco. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I could not believe she said that this morning. Like, oh, and they're just nervous for the new administration to come in. What the fuck do you think Trump's going to do? Give me a fucking break. Talk about snowballed. Yeah, they're doing an their lawyers are trying to hit Nick and them with an anti-slap law or something. Correct. Well, it is entered in the court. It was filed in the court, but that's where it stopped. It just went into a file. It was not looked at by a judge. It was not signed by a judge. It was not ordered by a judge. There's nothing pending on it. There's no matters pending on it. It's kind of like a C&D. They put it in the courts just in case they want to do something down the road. It's already in the courts. That's all. Exactly, Liza. And I've heard Granny say it's not going anywhere. It's frivolous. It doesn't mean anything. Blah, blah, blah. So then why are you raising money for it? I personally think her and Brittany should go run off together and get married because I think they're in love with each other. Yeah, nothing will ever come of it. Let's just waste more money. Now, if Brittany raises money to go against QB, I mean, but does Granny not think that Brittany can raise money too? Does Granny not think that Brittany can prove how much shit she's done to her? Yeah, but this isn't even about freedom of speech. That's the problem. I don't know where people think this is about freedom of speech because another criminal named Dolly said it. This isn't about freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is YouTube that they're all fucking scammers. That's freedom of speech. Them accusing somebody of murder is not freedom of speech. Accusing someone of essaying your child is not freedom of speech. Just me, they will never get a restraining order because then they couldn't talk about each other. If they tell them stop talking about a parent to avoid a suit, it's freedom of speech. I heard that. I saw what's her name's video. GW's now saying she's a true crime podcaster. Are you okay? She's not a true crime podcaster at all. She should just name her channel to Brittany. And like I said, I'm no Britney fan. But come on now. Let's be real here. People are fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I've been on way longer than I thought I was going to be. And I got to go take some pictures. Prime time, 1:30. So thank you all for listening to me rant. I might be on later, depending if I can get all these things done, if I can get all these pictures done and uploaded in. But I'm going to try really hard because I got to get them done. But I'll see you beautiful people later or tomorrow. Thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for Super Chat, Cash App, PayPal. Trolls, go suck a dick. And I will see you guys later. Peace.